Hi, everybody. We're on week 3. This week we're doing the labeling theory as our paper. The labeling theory is the view that the labels people are given influence their own and others' perception of them, thus channeling their behavior into deviance or into conformity. And when I was looking at this, I was seeing how this affects us day to day. We all have labels for people. I put a definition up here as well so you could see it, but really, labels are it's day-to-day living, and it was brought up last week in one of the discussion points about how some people who commit crimes are labeled as mentally ill, and others who commit crimes may be labeled as a thug. Uh, and it was, I've heard this argument before, and it's very true. If you watch the news every day, we can watch and see how people are labeled. If you look at the election, we have sometimes women are defined as being crabby or, pushy, whereas with a man, they might be someone who is assertive and positive and a leader. So when we look at labels, we have to see how do they fit us and how do they change how we treat people and how we treat ourselves. I think of my son's 30th birthday, which was this year, and I did a birthday party for him. I labeled it Nerdy 30. My son has forever embraced being nerdy. He's a resident in um, plastic surgery. And so I thought, did I by calling him this, did I do any harm to him? Was this, was this not funny? I mean, we've always thought of it as being funny. He says the nerds rule, but is it something that maybe have changed some of his behavior? I don't know. When we sit there and we look at it and saying we use labels every day and we don't even realize we use it. Um, I always will sit there and joke with my sisters about watching chick flicks. Do we label those? Does that mean they're soft? Or how about some of the labels she throws like a girl? I try to get away from that because that says spells of weakness. So I would say, oh, he throws like a guy. I try and make light of it, but we really do use labels every single day. So if we call somebody a label, if we call somebody a geek, or we call somebody a nerd, or we call somebody a thug, or we call somebody, a sex abuser or a sex offender, legally we label people. By the Megan's Law, we label people. Does this change their behavior or does it force them to conform to this behavior? Does it keep them in this behavior? Does it allow them to step away from that behavior? If we don't have things hanging over our head saying we are this person, does that mean we get to be this person? Those are all really good questions. What I want you to do this week is I want you to look at all the labels you use every single day in your life, and you just don't realize it. Uh, Many of them you'll be like shocked. I know that was the test I did today. I looked at every single term I used and thought, boy, I gotta watch how I label. Okay, you guys have a good week, and I'll be speaking to you next week. Have fun with this paper. I think it will be great.